right, good morning, boys and girls, or should I say good afternoon or good evening. Whenever you find this video and you're able to complete your health and phys ed lesson for this week, welcome. For those that don't know me and are joining me from Coburn, Pennell, or Parkside, my name is Coach Brian. I'm the health and phys ed teacher over at Aston Elementary. And boy, do I have a good lesson for you today. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's safe at home, making good, sound, safe decisions, and enjoying the time spent with family. So today, our lesson is actually entitled Food Label Fitness. And I know it may be a little difficult to see because of the glare on the whiteboard, but however, if you were to walk into Aston Elementary Gym for your health and phys ed lesson throughout the week, there's a lot of things that I'd like to point out or have established for you so you know exactly what's expected of you in that lesson. And I know Mr. Laterati, Mr. Clark, and Mr. J all do the same thing. So again, for those that don't know me and are joining us from those other places, welcome. Here's how our food label fitness lesson is going to work today. Our objective is always, what are we trying to accomplish? What are we trying to get out of this lesson? And in today's lesson, again, I apologize for the glare on the whiteboard, but it says, and I can assure you it says it, I will be able to successfully read a food label and identify where on the label I can find things like sugar, carbohydrates, serving size, and protein. And the reason we want to identify these things and be able to read it is because in the future, we want to be able to make healthier choices. So I brought some food items with me that we'll look at in a second, and we're going to actually add a little fitness element into it. So every time we read off a label and we see the word sugar, we're actually going to jump rope in place. All right. You're not going to need any equipment for today's lesson. However, we're going to imagine we're jump roping. We're going to get some good cardio going on today. Every time we see carbohydrates, we're going to run in place. All right. And we'll find out how many carbohydrates are in some of these food items I pulled from my pantry. Serving sizes. Every time we see the word serving sizes, we're going to do some jumping jacks. And then last and finally, but not least, is protein. Every time we see the word protein on one of these labels, we're going to do things like sit-ups or push-ups. It's going to be dealer's choice, and you can pick between one of those two exercises. All right, so for a warm-up today, like I said, we're going to do food label fitness, and then for our activity, I'm going to actually challenge you to go through your pantry, find some food items after this lesson, because you'll be able to identify where these words like sugar, carbohydrates, serving size, and protein are labeled on your own food items, and you're going to be challenged to do your own physical exercise and put your food labels to work. All right, so the first item I'm going to pull from my pantry are white cheddar Cheez-Its. And again, I apologize for some of these items. However, because of quarantine, being isolated in the house for so long, I wouldn't necessarily have these items in my pantry, but because times are tight right now, I got a lot of junk food. All right, so we're going to take a deeper look into some of these items. All right, so again, white cheddar Cheez-Its. If we were to look, if you could see there on the label, again, I apologize, doing my best. So you can see some things that show up are calories, serving sizes, carbohydrates, protein, and so forth. But in some of these foods, like the white cheddar Cheez-Its, we're going to look at something. We're going to look at total carbohydrates. In a serving of white cheddar Cheez-Its, there's actually 18 grams of total carbohydrates. So that's 7% of your daily intake for that day. Again, most of these items are based on 2,500 calories. That's made for adults typically. However, that's how they get their serving sizes. So today we're going to look at the carbohydrates. Like I said, there's 18 grams of total carbohydrates. Now when we see the word carbohydrates on a food label, we're going to run in place. So let's put down our label for a second and let's run in place for 18 seconds. Here we go. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, we'll stop there. I know I went over a couple seconds, but we want to get that heart rate moving. All right. I know a lot of us have been sitting around watching a lot of TV, lounging on the couch, but now it's time to get active. All right. So that was the first thing we looked at on the Cheez-Its. We looked at carbohydrates. Now we'll take calories. Or nope, I lied. We're going to look at total sugars right now. In this particular box, there are no total sugars. However, we're going to look at the protein. There are 3 grams of protein in this. So again, when we see the word protein, we're going to do either sit-ups or push-ups. So it's your choice. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see me. And I'm actually going to do both of these exercises today to hopefully give you a better understanding of how we're expected to do these. All right, so when I do a sit-up, I want to cross my legs. I want to go flat on my back. I want to cross my hands across my chest. Make sure you're not choking yourself or coming anywhere too close to your neck. And actually, when we do this successfully, your elbows should actually touch your knees. So you come all the way up, elbows touch your knees, and that would be 1. Straight back down, up, that would be 2, and 3. All right, now we're going to flip over. And if you want to choose to do push-ups, that's totally fine as well. When we do a push-up, we want to be in straight plank position. We want our chest over our elbows, and we actually want to go straight down, hold that pose, and come back up. Now that would be 1 successful push-up. Make sure your backside is flat and your legs straight. 2, and here we go, last 1, and 3. All right, let's pop on up. So that was our protein. Now let's look at our serving size. Serving size, when we see the word serving size, we're going to do jumping jacks. Now, in this particular box of Cheez-Its, if you can see right here, there's 26 crackers equals a serving size. All right. There's actually 150 calories in that serving size. So we're going to cut that. We're going to take the first 2 numbers, and we're actually just going to do 15 jumping jacks. All right. So here we go. Let's do 15 jumping jacks with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, and we can relax and rest there. What else do we have? Sugars. We said there's 0 grams of sugar in these. We did our push-ups, we did our jumping jacks, and we did our running in place. All right, so that kind of gives us a better understanding if we were to make the choice to eat white cheddar Cheez-Its. All right, let's grab another label here. All right, so this is everyone's favorite, Tastykake Tandy Cakes. All right, again, I apologize. Typically, I wouldn't have these things in my cabinet. However, I knew and I prepared for this lesson. And again, because of quarantine, I've loaded up with some snacks. Not making the best decisions these last couple days. All right, so if we look closer at this label, one thing I'm going to point out on the Tandy Cakes label is there's actually 14 grams of sugar. Holy moly. So if you were to eat 2 Tandy Cakes, which is the allotted serving size, if we look up here, if we can see that, we would actually be eating 14 grams of sugar, which is actually 28% of the amount of sugar allotted in one day. That's crazy to think. All right, so again, if we look here back to the big board, we're going to jump rope. And we're going to do that for 14 jumps. So here we go. If you want to join me now, we're going to imagine we have imaginary jump rope. Again, we don't need any equipment. Make sure we're just jumping off our toes and we're going straight up. And our arms are doing that swinging motion. Let's keep our elbows tucked in. And here we go. We're going to jump rope 14. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And again, I know I tricked you. I went a little overboard. However, the video freezes there for a second, but I want to make sure we're getting our cardio and getting our heart rate up right now. All right, so moving on. Again, to another fan favorite, Doritos. I prefer the Cool Ranch. However, nacho cheese is not a bad alternative or change up. And we're going to look a little closer into the nacho cheese Dorito label. So in this label, there's actually 10 servings. Each serving has 150 calories. And again, our concentration now is not going to be carbohydrates, which are 18 grams. We're actually going to concentrate on the protein. All right. Not a lot of good comes from these items that I'm showing you here. And that's kind of why I pointed them out and brought them out of my pantry. So if we look at the protein, there's only 2 grams of protein in this. And again, if we were to look at the board, we see we have the option of sit-ups and push-ups. I'm going to choose to do push-ups this time. But again, you make the decision. Whatever you'd like to do is totally okay with me. So you're going to pick either push-ups or sit-ups here. Here we go. And we're doing 2 of them because there's only 2 grams of protein in those Doritos. Here we go. Ready? Count it out with me. Flat back, straight down. Here we go. 1 and 2. All right. Pop on up. Let's grab another label. Let's look at Gatorade. All right. Again, things like Gatorade, things like sports drinks, they're marketed towards athletes. They're marketed towards children. All right. Because they think, or they want to make you think that if you drink Gatorade, you can be just like LeBron James, Michael Jordan back in my day. They have professional athletes promote Gatorade. And again, it's targeted towards kids. And is it a great form of a way to hydrate yourself? Absolutely. However, after sporting events, Gatorade's a great alternative to water. However, water is probably the most healthiest and safest bet. If you're sitting around on the couch playing Fortnite, eating Doritos, drinking Gatorade, probably not the healthiest of choices because Gatorade is filled with sodium. If you could see, again, I know it's quite difficult, but if you could see here, there's 160 milligrams of sodium. That's 7% of the daily sodium intake, which is absolutely crazy and absurd. Sodium is salt that actually hydrates you. And again, that's why Gatorade is geared towards after sports drinks or during sports to hydrate you. But a lot of sodium in your diet is very unhealthy. So I highly suggest not drinking a lot of Gatorade. Once in a while, it's a great alternative, but in moderation. All right. So 160 milligrams of sodium. We're going to take that number 7, and we're actually going to look at the big board. When we look at the big board, we're actually going to do high knees for sodium. I'm going to change it up a little bit on us. So let's do what I say again. 7. We're going to do 7 sets of high knees. That's where I'm going to jump straight up and bring my knees directly to my chest. Here we go. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, good. Catch your breath. Relax right there. We're going to look at our last food item. Our last food item for the day, again, under normal circumstances, we wouldn't find these in Coach Brian's pantry. Maybe occasionally, but hopefully not on a regular basis. But we're looking at double stuffed Oreos right now. Holy moly, there's no nutritional value in these guys. But it's fun to explore and see what their food label looks like. So if we look a little closer, we can see all the way at the top, a serving size is 2 cookies. There are 20 servings in this container, and each cookie contains 140 calories. So if we were eating 2 cookies, which is a allotted serving size, again, Coach Brian, just a phys ed teacher, not a math major. However, if I were quick at math, that would be 280 calories, which is an absurd amount of calories for just 2 cookies. Because honestly, let's think about this. And let's be honest with ourselves, who actually eats just 2 cookies? I know, especially like times like now, it's very difficult to stop once you start. That's a Pringles reference if you didn't get it. All right, so we're going to look at the calories right now. We're going to do 28. We're going to split it. So in 2 cookies, there's 140 calories. We're actually going to run in place for 28 seconds right now if we're looking at the calories. All right, so let's run in place for 28 seconds. Here we go. Ready? Count it out with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. All right, let's relax and stop there. All right, boys and girls. So that was a great warm up. Hopefully, our heart rate's up. Hopefully, our blood is flowing to those parts of our body that we're moving at a quicker rate. Hopefully, we're not completely out of shape because we've been laying on the couch for the last couple of weeks. We've been active, riding our bike, going outside every opportunity we could and can. So that was our warm up called Food Label Fitness. Now I'm going to ask you for an activity to do a food label challenge on your own. Please see the sheet that your teacher has provided with you and for any instructions and any questions you have, please ask your phys ed teacher, whether it's Coach Brian here at Aston Elementary, whether it's Mr. Laterati, Mr. Clark, or Mr. J. They can fill you in on anything that you would need to know concerning your food label challenge. However, the food label challenge, in a quick explanation and briefly, is for you to go into your cabinet and find some of the snacks that you have laying around and see things like serving size, calories, carbohydrates, protein, and so forth. All right. And the idea is that hopefully this is a little eye opener. Hopefully, when you look at these things, you might want to turn around and say, holy moly, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and uncle, this isn't the best, healthiest choice. Let's try to find something else that we can eat. All right. So, again, that's Coach Brian signing it off from the Bears Den, aka my dojo. This is where I'm going to be broadcasting for the next couple of weeks. Like I said, boys and girls, be safe out there. Be a kid, though. Try to get outside as much as you can. Be active. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy spending time with your family. Again, Coach Brian signing off. I'll talk to you later.